Liminal is a dynamic threshold processor built around a simple approach. Instead of treating audio as a single continuous signal, you split it into amplitude zones and process each zone independently. It's not more compression, and it's not a standard multiband tool either. The goal is to control over intensity, so quieter details, the main body, and the hardest hits can be shaped differently while staying on the same track and staying true to the performance. Liminal gives you 3 lanes. Each lane represents an amplitude range, a window into a specific part of the sound's behavior. Lane 1, loud hits and peaks. Lane 2, main body. Lane 3, quiet details and noise floor. Because real-world audio isn't just about loudness, each lane also includes its own EQ for precision shaping. That means that you can define what counts as soft, impact, or peak, and then make targeted choices without needing to duplicate tracks or build complex routing. From there, each lane can route to one of 3 sends. Think of these as 3 creative destinations, and each send can host one FX from a curated range of processors. In practice, that lets you do things like keep the core of a sound clean, add space only to quieter details, drive or distort only the loudest hits, or create layered results where each intensity range has its own role. The benefit is that the processing responds to the performance rather than being applied evenly across everything. If you want to move quickly, Liminal includes a deep preset library, including in-house presets and artist banks designed for real sessions. There's also Randomize, which is designed to create variation and sometimes pure chaos. It's used as a starting point, generate a direction, then refine it into something intentional. Liminal is built for modern workflows, so everything is automation ready across the plugin. It also includes latch mode, where lane assignments can be MIDI controlled. This lets you play the processor or automate lane behavior in a way that's more performance-oriented than a static chain. Now let's hear what this looks like in practice, from clean mixing moves to more creative use cases. Let's start with the snare, because it's a clear example of what Liminal is good at. Many snares naturally fall into 3 behaviors: softer hits, or ghost notes, standard hits, and rim shots. With Liminal, we set 3 thresholds so those behaviors land in 3 lanes. From there, each lane can be processed independently. For example, let's send lane 1 our main peaks to send A with bit crush for flavor and aggression. Next, we'll send lane 2, which has some of our softer hits, to the reverb, but we'll mix this in at 50% to not lose too much of the volume. Finally, our noise floor will capture any remaining hits and tails from other snares. We'll leave this dry for presence and detail. This keeps the main snare stable, while letting the quiet and loud moments get tailored processing without flattening the entire performance. One of the most practical workflows in Liminal is using the lanes like mini stems. The way to do it is simple. Mute or solo lanes so you can hear exactly what each threshold is catching. Then gain stage each lane so the balance is intentional. Detail lane sits where you want it, the body stays stable, and the peak lane isn't jumping out. Once that feels right, you can print or commit the result and treat it like stem splitting. You're essentially turning one track into controlled layers, with your exact thresholds and gain staging baked in. From there, it behaves like real stems. The detail lane becomes a texture layer. The body lane is your anchor. The peak lane is your impact layer. You can process or automate without affecting everything else. It's a fast way to split, balance, and commit a performance-based stem layout without building extra routing or duplicating tracks. On a drum bus, Liminal can be used to target smaller intensity pockets. This is useful for emphasizing certain hits, creating motion, or adding repeat-style effects that feel tied to the groove rather than pasted on top. We'll add the repeater in lane 2 and target those hats. We'll be able to create some more movement. Once the movement is working, a small amount of space with reverb can help glue it back together and keep the result cohesive. Liminal has 2 EQ stages, and they do different jobs. Input detection EQ doesn't change your audio, it only changes what the thresholds listen to. so you can make a lane trigger off lows, mids, or highs instead of the full signal. If you want to check it, use the headphones or monitor button. The lane output EQ filters each lane's audio before it enters the FX chain. This shapes the frequency content going into effects. It's useful for shaping what you're about to distort, modulate, or send into space, like rolling off lows before distortion, or softening highs before reverb. Input EQ decides what triggers, output EQ shapes what gets processed. Liminal is a threshold processor, but the goal isn't just dynamic control. It's a way to work with intensity as a structure. 3 lanes, per lane EQ, 3 sends, and 1 FX per send. You also have deep presets and artist banks, randomize for fast starting points, and latch mode for MIDI performance with full DAW automation across everything. Liminal by FlickSwitch Audio is available now. And if you want the full breakdown of every control and workflow example, check the written manual documentation linked below.